Hello, guys, and welcome back to part two of the Cask Connoisseurs trip, which started off with Great Newsome, where we sampled Frothringham Best, which essentially was very frothy indeed, Chris, to be fair.
It was, and a
Yeah,
good example of a Yorkshire bitter.
yeah,
I think that
very
would be the
nice.
summary.
Definitely very nice. So, part two is basically about a beer which was on the verge of being scrapped last year. What we have right here is an organic beer. So, organic beers, this is probably actually going to be my first organic beer I've ever tried. So, this will be interesting. Organic beers just basically mean one thing, it's vegan friendly. So, any vegans out there, you can try it. It's just how it's been produced. So effectively, it's what we call plant based. So think of stuff like soya milk and all that. That's all plant based. Dalit King is a Belgian pale ale. So it's a Belgian-style beer. It was originally brewed by Little Valley Brewery, which again is based up in Yorkshire. However, it did come to the point where it was on the verge of being scrapped. So, remarkably, last year, Great Newsome Brewery actually took on the brand, and they've actually brought Little Valley's brewery, Dalit King, back to life, and now it's brewed over at the brewery over at Frothingham, sorry, not Frothingham. There would always be a tongue twister there.
That's part of the fun of these things.
No, that's it. So I am actually really looking forward to trying this because not even just because it's different in such of obviously being a Belgian style pale ale. More importantly, it's a vegan friendly style beer. Now, the interest into that is one thing that we know for sure that there probably won't be as much of in here will be any findings. So
Fish guts.
yes,
Let's
fish guts.
get to the nub of it. Fish
Yes.
guts. That's what used to be findings. I
Yeah,
don't like to think that they still use them. They may or may not, but I just don't like to think about it.
that's it. So I think we ought to crack this beer open, Chris.
Definitely.
Yeah. So here we go, guys. We're going in for the Belgian style pale, and we've got some froth.
Oh, it's definitely a little bitty brisk.
It's a little bit lively, isn't it?
I'm going to catch.
Yeah, it's definitely a lively beer. Wow, I'm quite impressed. I might just let that settle down a little bit before we just pour that in.
I wasn't quite expecting it to be.
So lively.
To be quite so lively.
No. So no, that's interesting. But beer, there's a reason.
Always.
Yeah. There's a reason why beers do that, and basically it's just down to the fact of carbonation inside the glass. If it's been sitting in a cold room or warm room and it's just filled itself up, it's like if you open up if you shake a can of Coke, literally it just goes everywhere, doesn't it? Right, okay, so let's give this a go then, shall we? See what happens. Interested on the colour there? So let's have a gander.
Yeah, that is. I always think of the really dark Belgian beers.
Yeah.
And I do know they do. I think they do wheat
wheat beers and all that type of stuff.
Kind of like this. We'll find out whether it's a wheat beer later, won't we?
It. So, almost, that looks like to me, it's amber. It also kind of reminds me of the colour of lager.
Yeah, it's definitely a lager colour.
It's a lager colour. Definitely different to the.
Doesn't smell like lager.
Definitely different to the Frothingham Best that we tried earlier.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That nose.
Chris, you know what? Actually, you know what that really reminds me of a smell, and I hate to say this. You might think it's very weird. It reminds me of hospital and bandages from like trying to feel risky.
Yeah, there's a bit of an element of that. I think I'm picking up a bit of burnt hops, and it's a really hard one to describe.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm getting that.
It's not unpleasant.
It's not
It's not
unpleasant. No.
unpleasant. You will like nosing this,
Yeah.
but I am struggling there. I can get a little bit of it. I mean, I don't think it's very strong antiseptic.
No.
I think there's more of a kind of burnt hops going on
Yeah.
there.
There's probably almost. I mean, there was a little bit of antiseptic, but was also probably. I'd even say probably sounds daft again. A little bit of dark chocolate.
Yeah, I could get dark chocolate on that. I'm not going to complain about that.
No,
smell. Our description is appalling. But
Yeah.
it's actually that aroma is. It's
It's
not bad. It's just so hot. Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking burnt hops. That's chocolate. Yeah. So we're getting that. Bit of very minor antiseptic. It's when you used to put them little bandages on cuts, the plasters.
Yeah.
And even it's nowhere near
It's not as bad.
that.
No.
I mean, it's not as medicinal as, let's say, Lefroy guy in the mouth. It's definitely not as medicinal
nothing like
as
that. No. There's just a little bit on my nose.
Just a little bit. You can, because it's so hard to describe. I think we need to taste this.
Yeah, I think we need to taste. Let's have a taste. Ooh. That's like honey, caramel,
strawberries.
Vanilla. That's the wrong colour.
That is very refreshing.
Mm. Oh, wow.
I hate to say this when they say organic, because when it's an organic beer, because kind of in theory people get excited with organic, but that is clean. That is a very clean, refreshing palate.
Yeah.
I definitely am picking up strawberries.
Yeah, strawberries I'd agree with. I mean, personally for me, it's definitely got to be honey and caramel, and I'm either going to chuck some golden syrup into that as well. It's so.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as golden syrup because I don't think it's that sweet.
Yeah.
But I'd definitely go a bit of honey in there. That the nose. It's not as good as the palate.
No, the nose is a bit.
I mean,
there's a bit of a hit and miss with the nose, but the palate is amazing. And it's sad to hear that this beer could have been lost, because I'm so lucky to be able to try this now, because it's wow.
That is well worth it. It's surprising. I mean, it's not a bitter.
It's not a bitter.
It's not a stout. It's not a pale ale. It's not a lager.
No.
Belgian pale ale is probably the best description for it. But that would go down well on a warm summer's day.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really refreshing on the palate.
No. The fact,
and even on the finish, there's a bit of sherbet going on in my mouth at present. A little bit of sherbet. That is really nice.
You know what? I think that is a great beer to literally, as Chris says, having summer. You know what? I could imagine having like a barbecue with this beer. And the problem is
barbecue.
Yeah. The problem is it's not sessionable because it's 5%, so it is strong. But
as long as you don't stand up and somebody else is cooking the sausages.
Exactly. You know what? Let's have a little look to see what this beer actually says, because I am very intrigued.
That'll be interesting. That is. Yeah, I'm glad that's been rescued.
That's it.
I think its problem is because it's not mainstream, if you like. It's not easy to describe.
No.
But as a quality, it's good.
So we're golden coloured, light toasty aroma. It is quite warming, isn't it? Though.
Yeah, well, what I think they're saying toasty there is like the maltiness. So it's a toast itself. I could see that. Yeah, now they've said it, I can see it.
Oh, this is interesting. Peppery undertones. Now, is that my idea thinking of the little bit of septic that I was getting? But
could be antiseptic, and it could also be my idea of burnt hops.
Yeah.
Could be a bit of pepper. I wouldn't like to say it's huge.
I wouldn't like to say it's huge. No. Fruity taste built to a warming finish. Now, it's interesting here, Chris, because personally, if I just bought that in the shop, let's say, and I saw those tasted notes, I'd be like thinking, okay, sounds okay and all that stuff, but could be better. But I feel like what I've just felt from trying it, there's something missing off that bottle because what I'm picking up is just enormous amounts of sweetness, fruit. Well, the fruitness. It's for a Belgian pale ale, and to say that it's organic, I'm like over the moon with how good it is. Now, there's something missing though about it, and I think what it is, it's the nose.
Yeah, the nose is maybe missing, but the bit Luke didn't read on the label, now I'm actually reading it. They say, at Little Valley, we make beer that takes you further. There you go. Marketing.
Yeah.
Look past the scene, go beyond what's been, and focus on what matters. Okay, maybe we're getting a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Quality, taste, and character. That's what it's all about. So, having gone marketing,
yeah,
those three words, quality, taste, and character,
yeah,
that is what this has.
Yeah.
But there's nothing on that, and I agree with you. If I saw this in the off license or the supermarket, if I didn't know what it is, I'd walk straight past it. I wouldn't pick it up. I can see why they had trouble selling what is a really good beer. I mean, it might not be to everybody's taste, but that is a really good beer.
Yeah.
It deserves to be drunk. It deserves to have been rescued. So, well done to Great Newsome for doing so. I think they can get a couple of brownie points for that.
Yeah.
And you guys out there do need to try this.
Yeah.
I think you will like it, and I think you will be suitably impressed. As I say, quality, taste, character.
Don't be put off by the nose as well.
Yeah.
So one thing that I'm going to ask you now then, Chris, so we've tried both beers here from Newsome Brewery. Which one do you think you like the best?
If I was on like the best, and I think that's an unfair question, because they're different drinks. On liking, because we've done these on the same day, I'll tell you what I actually am enjoying most. That one. Now, I'll also add, I have never heard of Great Newsome Brewery before. Luke said we've got some bottles. But you know what? They could become my favourite Yorkshire distillery. And brewery. and to be fair, I used to work in the Yorkshire Dales decades ago. So I like my Yorkshire bitters. And they're up there. To my mind, they're up there with the great, because I always feel with a bottle you do not get the same you do on a cask. I mean, the issue with pubs closing is we need somewhere where we can drink cask beer.
No.
And it's kept. Because you can get cask beer, but you can go to a pub and it isn't kept well. And then they wonder why they closed. But these, I am very impressed with both of them overall. No. They're what they say on the tin, on the bottle.
On the bottle. And to be fair, I actually completely agree with what everything Chris has said there. This is nice. This is obviously your traditional best bitter. It's perfect in terms of aroma and taste. But that is a wow from me. Great job to Great Newsome Brewery. And so, great job there. Definitely indeed.
Well, you know what's the daft is we both agreed that's the best.
Yeah.
And yet, both of us would have walked past that bottle, regardless of the labelling.
Yeah.
We'd have just gone, okay, fine. Walk past.
That's it.
And never looked at it.
Yeah. So, no, as I say, if you want to give it a go, guys, please do try it, because both of them, we're both are really good. But I think our winner is definitely the Dalit King. Please, as I say, guys, remember to like and subscribe to the Cask Connoisseur. Give a like to this video. We've got more content coming up soon. But no, I've really enjoyed doing both of these beers, tasting them, and I know that Chris has as well. But definitely, that is the king of organic beers so far.
Yeah, love that.
Cheers.
Cheers all. Good health.